That conversation now on Walking for the Children, an interesting initiative on multi-purpose Olympic turf being built in Kibra. And in studio, I'm joined by Cynthia Nyamai. She's not new to the screens. She's a media personality and a PR guru. Thank you for making time for us.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, today we're talking about a whole different thing here today. Yes. And the conversation is on the Olympic turf that's supposed to be built. Mm-hmm. But let's start from the beginning. Yes. What was the inspiration behind wanting to build this multi-purpose Olympic turf?
I was taking a walk. We had a project still in Kibra, right, but at the Jamhuri short-term prison. So at that time we're constructing. We've just finished the construction of a multi-purpose hall. And then we had a meeting with the Kibra MP because the prison is under him. So he gave us a tour of Kibra, and then we go to Olympic. Of course, I was excited because growing up, KCP results, Olympic would always be at the top. So I was like, yes, finally I get to go to Olympic. I'd been to Kibra, but never Olympic. Mm-hmm. And so we go in, and then I see, as I'm walking in, there's a lot of dust, and then I'm told that's where the children normally play, and I can see the children lining up for food at 3:30 p.m. Okay. That's when some of them are having lunch. So they tell me because they don't have good facilities, the children go out to have lunch on shifts, and then the children are so many. There are 5,500, wow, over 5,500. Yeah. And then where we are standing is so dusty, so they tell me that's the field, that's where the children play. And as I'm walking, I can just see clouds of dust, lifting up. I'm like, the children play here. They're like, yeah. So, and then we walk through the field. I couldn't even walk through the whole field. I started coughing, and my throat just started feeling just funny because of the dust. Right. So I was like, I can't imagine having to play in such a dusty place every single day. How do you even look forward to school? When we were growing up, like for me, I used to look forward to go to school, partly because of the field. We used to have like a tire frame. I used to look forward, go in the morning to play. I can't wait for break time. So I was like, this is so... It would be so cold of me to see all that and walk away. And we also have a group called RIG East Africa. Right. That's the group that had helped build the prison. So I spoke to them. I said what I saw at the school is just so sad, and they all agreed. So we decided, why don't we build a proper place for them to play?
I'm curious though. Olympic is in Kibra,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And of course, this school has been there for a very long time, and it's known in terms of its performance.
Yes.
There have been leaders or members of parliament in that particular area.
Yes.
They've never seen this, or they didn't think about, having such a project for these children?
So that's the question that I also asked, and one of the things that I was told is that, unfortunately, even for that school, unfortunately, for a long time, of course, they had the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga as their member of parliament. Right. But after that, they haven't seen much development. Of course, even right now, as we are working on it, we are working with the current MP. And one of the things he said is that they have so many other projects, but for them, sports is definitely something that they are giving priority. So even like over the last couple of weeks, there is a cup that the MP has just to encourage children to play football. And they have actually more than 34 teams. I know 34 teams in Kibra, yes. Wow. And they're so talented. Like I was there Sunday, the whole day. I'm not even a big fan of football, but I enjoyed their game. Like it was, by the time we were getting to 6 p.m., I was like, oh my goodness. It got dark because it was about to rain. That's when I realized it was 6 p.m. But there is so much talent happening in there. But I think also sometimes one thing I've noticed, even as we are trying to raise money, and even just speaking to different entities and corporates, there's a way sometimes people feel like when it comes to the prisons or areas where it's slum areas, people feel like there will be no return of their investment. That's something that I have noticed, sadly, that in places where it looks like people have been forgotten, a lot of times people don't want to spend time there and invest there. But I've been able to find a group of people who, for them, they feel like everyone matters. It doesn't matter where they live. It doesn't matter even if it's prisoners. Every single person does matter. Yes.
Interesting that you've also mentioned, trying to raise money. I know you're trying to raise. The budget is over 66 million.
Yes.
So I want to know how that journey has been and how far are you with that?
Yeah, I think at first when we were thinking of of just working on it, we thought. Because I'm not even in construction, I thought it would probably take like 10 million. So we had a couple of visits, even with the architect, but then we noticed there were some issues with that field, and also some issues with the drainage, and then also because the children are so many, more than 5,500, we can't have a grass field. So then when we started understanding the challenges, the bill just kept on going up until when the final one came by my architect, and even my architect is giving us the services for free, his services for free. And then he said, don't panic. He sent me a message. He just said, don't panic, but here is the bill. And in my head, I was like, okay, maybe it's 15, 20 million. Then I see 66 million. And I'm like, okay, give me a breakdown. And then when I went through the breakdown, I understood, because of also the challenges in the field, that why the bill was coming to that amount. But also we wanted to make sure that it is a long-term project, that even 10 years from now, 20 years from now, that field will be there. The AstroTurf alone is more than $30,000. So it tells you that. And then also we're going to make sure it's international standards. So there's going to be the bleachers where the children will sit. The reason why we wanted bleachers is so that even after school, the children have a place to sit, they can do their homework. Remember, I'd mentioned over lunch, they don't have proper places to sit. So even by 5 p.m., they're still being served. But if they have the bleachers, they can sit there. After school, they can enjoy each other's company. And even weekends, we also want to make sure that we have the anti-climb fence, so that even during games, international games can be held there. The place will be secure. We also want to make sure there is lighting, so that even like last Sunday when I was there, you could tell the children didn't want to go. So they can stay in and play until 7, 8, and for the adults, 9, 10. So it is of international standards. We are not saying that just because we are giving for charity, we'll give the lowest standards. We want to still give the highest standards. We want, when the children of Kibra walk into that place, the students of Olympic and even the community, to feel that they are loved and they are very important, so they were given the best.
Very nice, pretty interesting. Let's talk about now support in two folds. So like from parents and teachers, what kind of support have you gotten from them? And then now the local leaders, the Member of Parliament or the MCAs, what support have you gotten from?
I have to say the Member of Parliament has been very, very cooperative. I don't think we would be able to even reach the people at the ground, because you also have to educate the people at grassroots. This is the project we want to undertake in the school, and we need your support. So he's the one who took us around. I've met a few groups in Kibra through the constituency, his constituency manager. So they've taken us around. I've met a lot of people. In fact, it's interesting, like on Sunday when I was walking, if you see me walking in Kibra, I have a group of youth. They're always like protecting me. And people would think, like, if you're walking in places like that, people would be asking you for money. They never ask me for money. They're like, Cynthia, wewe ni wetu tunakupenda. They're guiding you, walking with you, introducing you to everyone, and just even sharing their dreams. And so, like the youth said, and the people around have said, once we begin construction, and we'll begin next week on Friday, a lot of them have said they would love to be hired and to work at the field. And that's also an agreement that the MP also asked us that to ensure that we hire a majority of the people from the community. So the community are happy. They are so excited. I think I even have some videos online of them just being so excited about it and volunteering to even help. And just having everyone coming in, because it cannot be done by just one person or a small group of people. It's a huge project, and our time is limited. We want to do as much as we can during the holiday season.
Yes, of course, it's a communal thing.
Yes, it's communal,
I have seen there's the hashtag 488 for Kibra.
Yes.
Could you explain that to the audience?
So 488 for Kibra is the 488 is the distance between Mombasa to Nairobi. So from December 1st to the 14th, I'll be walking from Mombasa to Nairobi, just to create awareness and also to raise funds for the project. So it's going to be a long distance, but lots of fun.
From Mombasa to Nairobi. That is far.
I was born in Mombasa, that's home.
Right.
So even a lot of people from Mombasa have been sending messages and saying, we are waiting for you. I already even have a whole crew and team in Mombasa, led by a lady called Stacy. And they just sent me a message that said, we want to help. We are taking care of you from the Mombasa side. We even have people who have told me they'll walk with me up to Voi.
Wow.
So people are so excited about it. And even as we are walking, I'll just be raising awareness and telling people about the different parts that we are walking through, sharing videos of our beautiful country, and even just praying for the country, and just telling people, you know what, I'm doing another kilometer to Mazeras. Nizindikisha na hela. Send me the money to just give me the energy. Because I want this project to be one where it is the country coming together to raise the money. There's the option of, yes, going to government and looking for funds and so on. But I really believe there is a group, a generation of us that wants to be the answer for the problems that we see. We do not just want to talk. We want to be part of the answer. And so this money will come from the people themselves. The construction will happen through even the community, and even they're going to help in raising the funds, so that we no longer have this song of Naomba Serikali, Naomba Serikali. And you know, when people decide to be stakeholders of their country and take up even projects, you will notice even in the next elections, we will not have the voter apathy that we had, because now they feel this is my country.
Right.
I have stake in this country. I am participating, and in fact, in the next election, they will vote better leaders, because now they will tell leaders, if we can do this, you who are in government and even have much more resources can do more than we have done. So we are now expecting, so their standards will even be raised up, because they are now feeling this is their vision. They are participating. They know what it takes. There's a gentleman I saw, he's from TikTok, actually YouTube, and he came to Kenya, was putting up boreholes, and people were asking, if one individual, Mr. Beast, if one individual is doing this, shouldn't my government be able to do more?
That has been a key question. Actually.
Yes. And so if people actually participate and do it, they will ask harder questions during the next elections, and even the leaders now will be pushed to be more accountable and to do much more.
If someone now wants to contribute in the 66 million, is there like an M-Pesa, or where can someone send the money?
they can, on my page, Instagram and Facebook, we have all the details on how you can send money via M-Pesa. There's a till number, and also on the RIG East Africa page. And RIG East Africa is RIG, and then East Africa. We are also on Instagram and Facebook. There are details there of how to contribute.
Okay, as we wrap up now,
Yes.
what are your final expectations? When are you expecting the turf to officially be ready?
So we are, so actually next Friday is a big day for us in RIG East Africa, because we are now officially opening the building that we constructed at the prison, and then in the morning. And then when we finish, we will go down to Olympic Primary and have our groundbreaking. So construction actually begins from next Friday. One of the areas where there might be delay is getting all that AstroTurf. We haven't found a local dealer who can supply, so we are now getting it from China. Once that comes in, construction should, by another 3 weeks, we should be done with the turf. And then we are hoping at least by the first month of, actually by January, when the children are opening up, we'll be done with the first phase of the construction.
Right, interesting.
Yes.
This has been a very interesting conversation, and all the best.
Thank you
especially
so
to
much.
the walk.
And I welcome you to the walk. If you
Right.
want, one of the days as I'm getting closer, you can even meet me at Syokimau and we walk together. You will enjoy it. You will love it.
Right, looking
Yes.
forward to that. Thank you so much for the conversation. We were having Cynthia Nyamai. She's a media personality and a PR guru. Of course, the discussion was on building the multi-purpose Olympic turf in Kibra and the walk for children. So thank you so much for your time. Right, we're taking a short commercial break here on News Center. When we return, we still have more conversations, so stay with us.